Good morning. Wait, man, right off the jump. Make it public, not just friends. I don't give two damns about privacy when we're got a damn planet to save. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I'm looking fuzzy. Somebody must have put some snot on my camera. Hold on. Let me mess off. First, let's share out to that page. Share out to two more pages. I got a tissue. I'm looking kind of fuzzy. All right. I want to talk about world peace today. World peace. Peace. There we go. Now I'm looking clean and fresh. Nope, not clean and fresh. I need to shave. But I'm not fuzzy anymore. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I got to shave or I won't be able to buy and sell in conflict world. Good morning, Sharon and Harley. How y'all doing this morning? I want to talk about world peace. I got a theory. Let me know what you think. I don't think world peace is hard. I think world peace is the default. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Eric, Laura. World peace is the default. All you gotta do, ask a stay-at-home mom or ask a unprofessional, uneducated, but yet smart, wise daycare teacher. That's all I gotta do. Ask them how they get world peace in the daycare. I got the picture behind me, so it's a hint. There's a big hint right there. How do you achieve world peace? The same way you get daycare peace, the same way you get grade school peace, the same way you get kindergarten peace, the same way you get middle school peace, the same way you get high school peace, the same. There ain't no peace at work. Ain't no peace at work. That's a whole different reason. That's a whole different thing. Ain't no peace at slavery. But if you ask the peace professionals, you know exactly how to get peace. Peace is obvious. Peace is easy. Peace is the default. Violence is aggression and violence. That's the scam. But peace is the default. Peace has always been the default. You know, but we let them overcomplicate peace. And when they overcomplicate peace, that's when we have war, right? They overcomplicate peace because they don't want peace. They want war and conflict. Colonizers. I was actually watching the news this morning. I felt like I was on an alien planet. I actually watched the news this morning. Oh my goodness. I have some thoughts on what the monkeys are thinking about. I have a few thoughts. So I do kind of want to get into the news. I'm going to try to. First, I'm going to see if we can get the comments and everything doing what it's supposed to without me touching anything. Oh, did I already touch it? Is it broken from yesterday? It's broken from yesterday. Let me see if I can, I suppose it just wait on it. Dagnabbit. I forgot to press that button. We'll see what happens. We can do a deep backup. Good morning. Fadia in Arabic. Good morning. I can't pronounce that. Gee, I wish I could. I wish I knew Arabic. I don't. But I wish I could pronounce that. All right, let me try this again. World peace. How do you get world peace? How do we get world peace? Anybody got any thoughts? Anybody know how daycare works? How do you get world peace? Boom. Man, it would be nice if the default comment type would work today, but it's probably not going to. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Don't let people overcomplicate things that are simple, stupid. Don't let people overcomplicate things that are simple, stupid. Don't let them do it. They make a fool of you and me. Yes, this was me. I press this every morning. It ain't gonna work. I know it ain't gonna work. They know it's me and I know it's me. And they know I know it's me. But that's just how it works. And I'm not gonna fight with it this morning. I'm just gonna open backup means of commentary. Good morning. You are so cute. You did good. I did good, Fadia. I can't read that. I didn't even read. I want to though. I want to know Arabic because I want to know closer more what the original scriptures say in the Bible that they've been modifying for eons. Oh, I was watching something crazy today. That'll get my people in conflict. I started talking about what I was watching today. Talking about how prayer is for the inside. Prayer is not for the outside. You're not supposed to actually pray to a God. That's not what is actually happening. That when you pray, you're actually getting your conscious to try to agree with your subconscious on a thing. And they're like scriptural references as to how all that works, you know, based in like science and ancient scriptures that actually started all this, not the modern lies, the placebo effect and the nocebo effect and speaking things into existence. I'm not going to touch it too hard because a lot of people aren't ready for that. They're just not ready. You scare people off when you go to that level. All right, let me get the backup comments. Good morning, Augusta. Where's that? I want to talk about world peace if you're just coming in. World peace. How do we achieve world peace? Are there any world peace professionals in the world that can explain to us what world peace is about? There we go. Top fan badge leads to world. Oh, Beaufort, this dude is sick. He's sick. I don't know what's wrong. That man is so talented. I have no idea what's wrong with that dude. Keep making pictures of me doing stupid stuff. All right, here we go. Don't quit, brother. Don't quit. Let me see. Everyone in the world must watch the new documentary on Netflix, The Family. It's a Christian mafia. And I agree. I agree, Fadia. Everybody should watch it. Everybody should watch it. All right, let me end the startup music so everybody should watch it. Turn the volume down. Everybody should. I talked to a brief second about it, but the only thing I'd add to that, Fradia, is everybody should watch it, but watch it from a problem-solving perspective, right? Identity neutral. Like, go into The Family and watch it identity neutral. Don't go in it like already making a case against the Christians. Don't go in it already making a case against the Republicans or the Democrats or the white folk or the black folk or the immigrants. Or like, go into it neutral. Go into it neutral. Trying to fight the Zionists or the Jews or the Muslims. Or like, just go identity neutral. Just go in it from a family perspective and just watch The Family, and you'll get how the world works. I mean, but if you go in hating Christians, then yeah, you're gonna take from that what they need you to take from it. The people who hate you, who control you, who run this human farm, if you go in hating a group, looking to approve your indoctrination that's given to you by the people who hate all groups, then you're gonna fail. Go into it neutral and you start to really realize how the world works. How, and I'm not gonna do a spoiler alert, but how you take groups of amazing sentient creatures trapped in these human body things and break them down into groups and give them a struggle. And once you give them a struggle, you can make them apathetic against anybody else. You can make them cheer like pedophilia, rape, slavery, colonization, forced ownership, crony capitalism, by giving them something to believe in. Breaking them down. That's why I'm not a religious cat. I believe, Sag Guru, that there should be 7 billion religions. All right, 7 billion people on the planet. There should be 7 billion religions, all based in love, kindness, concern, looking out for each other, taking care of each other, all the base things that they broke and made the modern religions. So I'm not a religion, and I'm not against religion. It's just the problem is identity is why we have an issue. Why they removed the Gnostic text from the scriptures. Why would they remove the Gnostic text that tells you that God is inside? Because they wanted you to think God is in the king or God is outside. They thought that if they got you, they convinced you to believe God is floating on a cloud somewhere. Then to get to that God, you gotta go through the king. You gotta go through the Pope. You gotta go through some ministers or some priests or something like that. Then they can control you. Everything's about control. And so when you ignore the tool, ignore the identity, and focus on the psychopathy. You know, focus on the fact that they're always trying to control the human race. And that's so anyway, that thing kind of blessed me this morning. I was watching, he was talking about prayer. You know, you're speaking into existence from your conscious to your subconscious. And getting your conscious and your subconscious mind in agreement on a thing will make that thing happen. That's how you move mountains. That's how you walk on water. That's how you part Red Seas. Again, I'm not going to get into the placebo effect and nocebo effect. It's just science stuff we don't understand, but it's very, very true. All right. Peace, that's what we're talking about, world peace. This is what I think. And I did watch the news this morning, but I was, I feel like I'm on an alien planet, and I actually am. Earth is literally an alien planet, it's full of aliens. But it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch, to see what everybody's all excited about, how they get you roaring around. And like when you start to see the Matrix, I think, and you start to see the identity tools and how you break a human down into a mule, how you break them down into livestock within a group and control all the groups, it's hard to take any of it seriously, like, because you actually start to see how they're playing everybody. So it's hard to watch. It's kind of like I broke my kids. I broke them. I don't think they fit in your world. Well, I mostly broke them. Like we were in daycare. I got a daycare picture behind me. And y'all, and like we're in the daycare, if y'all show my sons this, they're like, what is this, class? And everybody would be like, lemon, orange, ball. You know, because some of them don't know what fresh fruit is. Something the grocery store makes. My kids, they would have been like, that's deodorant. We know what that is. Daddy uses it all the time. We know exactly what that is. That's deodorant. I won't go into it. If you don't know what funk is, and you don't know what armpit funk is, it's just bacteria causing problems under your armpits. You don't need to buy deodorant from big corporations. All you need is something antibacterial. But you want something that complements your biology, not gives you cancer down the road and puts aluminum in your veins, right? So that, but I broke them like an alien thing. So I did watch the news. It was hard. It was very hard. But I want to kind of see what's going on, because I think when you get too detached and you spend too much time with like the world peacers, the world lovers, we're all familyers, anti-corporation, everything, not just vaxxers, but Tylenolers, Bayers, aspiriners, anti-conflict, it makes you talk alien, right? People can't really process what you're saying. So you do got to watch the news. So I watched the news. But I'm going to put a concept in front of you, take it where you want. I just think world peace is easy. I think world peace is always solvable, as above, so below, right? How do you have peace in a daycare? How do these 17-year-old babysitters have peace in a house with 5, 6, 7 kids all at once? When the families get together, they go out to party, mom and daddy got to get the thing on, and they go out in groups of 6. Oh, they got the same babysitter. And you get like 8 snotty kids all together. How do they achieve peace with 8 snotty kids, small room? Parents not around, no authority. It's called toys. That's it, toys. Toys are energy. Give people the toys, enough toys. Like, look at this daycare room. Look back here. It's not gonna be any conflicts in this room. You get kids in this room, what'll happen? Just pretend kids are adults. Pretend kids are like 60, 70, 80 years old, 50, the 40-year-old ignorant people you see fighting in Facebook comment sections about silly stuff. They come in this room like, yay! Somebody see the dinosaur, they run for that. Somebody see the little monster here, run for that. Somebody, is that Woody? Somebody run for Woody as the robot back. Yay, plenty of toys, everybody gets to play. Everybody's in their own zone, doing their own thing, working their own creativity. Works that same way in the world. When adults have enough, they're not stupid, right? When people got food, they're not moody. When people have water, houses, that's why the base of my message is always the core of what's wrong with humanity. Everything else is a side effect. The news is just side effect after side effect after side effect after side effect, because they don't want to solve the problem, right? We live in a technological age where we can solve the problem. We can make Earth the daycare, where everybody has everything they want. Like, imagine if you could snap your finger, pow! Everybody has the car they want, the house they want, the food they need, and the freedom they deserve, not working for your big corporations and forced labor camps called nations. Imagine you snap your finger, pow! Everybody has what the trillionaires have. I'm not talking about the billionaires, because billionaires, they only own a couple nations. Trillionaires, they own the damn planet. You don't get to know who those people are. They don't even get to, they don't even announce them on the news. If you had what they had, because it's peace among them, they're not really in conflict. They're like, this is our Earth, we own this, you own that hemisphere, I own this. The dumb monkeys think nations still exist so they can conflict and fight over side effects. We starve everybody, but we got everything. So they're not in conflict. I mean, they might be in squabbles over nations, let a nation get blown up here or there and not really care, because they own everything. They're at peace. So if you give everybody that ability, what happens? You know? So that's what I'm saying. It's just like somehow we get old and we get dumb. But when you're young, you seem to get it. And a 16-year-old babysitter, she gets it, right? 22-year-old uneducated daycare provider, she gets it. When you have enough toys, the monkeys don't fight. When you only got one of this toy, two of that toy, and 8 monkeys, you got an issue. And that's what all world conflict is. And I'm done. That's it. I ain't nothing else to say. I ain't nothing else to say. You don't need to go to political science and major in that for 7 years to try to figure out how to figure. That's how they teach you how to create world conflict. That's not how you create world peace. How you create world peace? You shut the hell up and you go to the daycare and say, excuse me, that's what I want. Can y'all get the Pentagon? Somebody call the Pentagon. Somebody call Washington and Russia. Somebody call Moscow and Beijing and send them all to like your local daycare center. Like get all the world leaders together. Gonna tell you, it'll end that quick. Yeah, it's like 17-year-old, but the 17-year-old, she busy. I ain't no time for y'all world. Y'all ain't got no time for it. I gotta make lunch. Damn it, I gotta get cookies and milk. Yeah, the 14-year, you just go explain to them dummies what world peace. Go explain to them how we have daycare peace so they can figure out the world peace. Go on, just talk to, cause I ain't got time. I got to make the cookies and the milk because I know what happens to the monkeys if they all ain't got cookies and milk. They all got to get the dip on, because everybody happy. Y'all remember that at daycare, the dip came, everybody get your cookies and your milk. And outside, like forget for a minute that milk is a carcinogen. Just forget for a minute that milk is an abused animal. It comes from a cow that's being poisoned by antibacterial injections to keep it alive because they don't feed it real food. And it's so abused, it's got pus and blood in every little drop of it. Just pretend like you're a kid. You don't know none of that. You don't know, I know they like carcinogen. Please read, people. Read. China study. It's a book. Look it up. Casein is a thing. It's in milk, causes cancer. Anyway, and it is a prolific grower. But pretend for a minute, y'all know none of that. You in daycare. We all in daycare. Like you just finished playing, you doing your blocks and stuff, y'all having fun. All of a sudden, y'all sit down at the table. Everybody sit down. You see Molly over there and Jackie over there and Bob and Tyrone, everybody over there, everybody sitting down. And everybody's fine. Everybody's ready to go. We waiting on the cookies, man. You got to bring that milk and bring them cookies. Everybody ready to go. What happened them cookies show up late? What happened? What happens when all these kids with all this energy and only half the kids get cookies and milk? Half the kids get cookies, the other half get milk. That's a better separation of the world into different continents, right? Now, if the kids are trained well, the parents love them and the daycare loved them, took care of them, the kids would cut the cookies in half. And say, look, can I have some of your milk? Can you have some of your milk? I'll give you some of my cookie. And they would share and everybody be happy. But if half the kids get all cookies and all milk, and the other half don't get a damn thing, you know what's gonna happen. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. I know because I know Tyrone, he gonna be on the side that didn't get a half. I know Billy Bob Thornton, he gonna be on that side that just didn't get his cookies and milk. And you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. When you show people hate, when you show them apathy, when you take care of one part of the world, I don't know, let's call it the West. Because they robbed it from all the other kids. Because all the kids' parents, they all paying to the daycare, they all paying, but only half of them got cookies and milk. They all paid. They all been colonized. They all had people murdered in their family and robbed and stolen from them for thousands of years, but only half of them get the benefit of colonization. Even the poor kids on the cookies and milk side of that table, they gonna be happy. Like, oh, I got my cookies and milk. Oh, where yours at? You ain't got none? Damn, that's too bad. I know. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I need to see an angry face because I'd like to end this analogy and move on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I wanted to, because some of y'all done came from some recent oppression. Some of y'all still oppressed, but you ended up on the side of the table with some cookies and milk. You ended up with a mom and dad that agreed with colonization, taught you how to go to college, get a good job, and be apathetic. Now you're happy with the colonized. Now you're beating on the desk. You want reparations. Got cookies and milk on the table, just beating. Any Democrats in the room? You know, I need reparations. And meanwhile, the kids over there ain't got no cookies and milk. And their parents were oppressed, their grandparents, everybody raped still. All right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Everybody got cookies and milk, you got world peace. And that's it. That's all that 14-year-old has to do. And Trump can get up, and Xi Jinping and Putin, they can all get up and go on back to their countries and deploy it. Just give everybody cookies and milk. Look for any nations that we done robbed and stole from, because everything on the damn planet stolen, and send them cookies and milk. And guess what? Everybody got cookies and milk, man. Listen, we all sitting here eating happy, dipping. Yeah, we got cookies and milk. I got, you know, and everybody's good to go. But if you don't follow the example of children, see, I think this is wrong. We call the world's leaders childish, and I think that's a mistake. They're not childish. They're not childish. There ain't nothing childish about it. Ain't nothing. They're idiots. These are people who are dumb. All right, ignorant, completely stupid, all of them, every last one of them. They all can solve the problems, and they choose not to, right? Because they're scared, because you got trillionaires that'll murder them. And I get it. This is why I say if I was them, I'd be acting stupid too. The problem is us, not them. It's us. We keep voting for this colonization stuff. Like, here's a good example. We were talking about yesterday. Trump wants to buy Greenland. And Greenland like, what the hell? You gonna buy what? It was because Greenland's owned by Denmark. Like, you gonna do what? You gonna buy us? You gonna buy me, my land, my house? You gonna buy all of this, my garden, and me and my kids? You gonna buy us? I think people missed that one. I was thinking about that. I was watching on the news, but I think we done missed the boat on that yesterday. I think that was the greatest example of what we need to understand. Cross the lines, right? Because the left is like, he's racist, he's horrible, he's American. I'm like, no, we made him. We on the side of the table with the cookies and milk, we made Trump. Absolutely 100%, we made him. But it's not racism why he wants to buy Greenland. I think you just actually have a Ricky Schroeder in office. See, the right needs to understand who this man is. He's Ricky Schroeder. Y'all remember Ricky Schroeder? Silver Spoons? Anybody watch Silver Spoons growing up? Y'all remember Ricky Schroeder? Ricky Schroeder's running America, but, you know, whatever the hell that means. I mean, you know, really, the central banks pretty much own every damn thing, and the presidents are like stewards of the real kings, the real trillionaires that own every damn thing. He's just Ricky Schroeder. He thinks he can buy everything. Like, everybody know that rich kid up the street. Rich kid up the street in my house, he had the G.I. Joe with the aircraft carrier. Like, he didn't have G.I. Joes, right? He didn't have G.I. Joes, right? I had G.I. Joes. You had G.I. Joes. Some of them had the Kung Fu grip. Some of them had Flint. The others had roadblock. Some had, and so in the play, what we had to do, we all had to get together. Like, hey, call up who got the tank, and call up who got his tank, and who call up the one who got this, call up that. We had G.I. Joes. And together as a community, we all come together, all the kids, and we could play, and we almost had G.I. Joe. But we don't have G.I. Joes. We was poor. We was not that privileged. But the privileged kid up the street, the Trump, oh no, he had G.I. Joe. He was Trump up the street, he had G.I. Joe. He had the whole damn thing, the whole set, all of them, every last one. Christmas came, you know how like we had the Christmas list, you had to specify which G.I. Joes. I want Flint, and I want roadblock, and I want the his tank, and I need this, and you might get like 2 of them. Rich kid up the street, he got the whole damn set. Christmas came, he didn't even ask for it. It was like G.I. Joes on TV. Just send him everything. Got the aircraft carrier, the tanks, the jets. Got 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So, but that's who Trump is, right? And they pretend they don't know that on the right, and I think they pretend they don't know that on the left. He's just a rich kid who had every damn thing, and you can think you can buy everything. He's just detached with what the common folk know makes no damn sense. You can't buy Greenland. People live there. But think about that. But it's the mentality on the right pretending that's not who he is. You know, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Don't get me wrong. Don't give me that hate. You don't like Trump face. I just understand who Brother Trump is. He's just the rich kid who grew up with G.I. Joe, Transformer, and Smurf. We grew up with Smurfs, some G.I. Joes, a few Transformers, and if we're lucky, a Cabbage Patch Kid or something. But on the other side of it, he's in control of a nation that he completely understands. See, most people don't understand what America is, and he does. He does. We are colonizers. We are Colonizers buy things, and that syncs up with who he is and how he was raised. They buy people. They buy continents. They buy nations for the sake of their overlords above them. They buy things. They purchase them. They don't even think about what you're really saying. Like, I'm going to buy 20 million people. How many people live in Greenland? 20 million people, and the monkeys and the bears, and what else is in Greenland? I'm going to buy them. Penguins, whatever's up there. But I think people miss that. I think they missed it. And that's why I just sit back and watch. Because I think people, they get so discombobulated thinking he's fighting for us or he's fighting against us. And he's a product of the daycare. He's the product of the daycare. He had everything. He didn't have to share, so why should he share now? But I think people miss that. See, we vote for colonization. We vote for war. We vote for slavery. Voting for the system, no matter who you vote for, and the system's core is slavery and oppression and colonization and buying people and owning things and fighting world peace anywhere in the world where it appears. If you find a nation that's actually helping its people, that's giving resources to the land, that's sharing its ecosystem, if you find a nation acting as like a daycare run by a 17-year-old where all the kids are in peace and can't wait to get there, you gotta blow it up. The left votes for that and the right votes for that. That's why I'm not a voter. That's why I ain't voting today. I ain't voting today because we are voting for a daycare that only has 3 toys and 8 kids. When people don't have enough, they want to kill each other and have enough. Equality is what we need. We don't need equal outcomes, and we don't need like equal people. There's no such thing, it'll never exist. But in terms of providing enough toys for everybody, and that representation, toys are energy and food and things that they need. Everybody gets in their own little corner and they're good to go. They're playing with the bops, this, that, and the other, whatever, being creative. They look at what somebody else is doing and, oh, you can put the block up over here and do that. And okay, they're getting better at that. And that's what the human race is supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be evolving and going in sentient directions. But you can't do that if you're locked into survival. Right? Survival mode and the struggle. And that's what the kids on the other half of the table without the cookies and milk, that's what they're going through. Like, we keep the people above us, they keep us in conflict with the world, and they keep people in survival mode so we can't get out of these 5 senses. And that's another thing Sad Guru was talking about, is just the whole 5 senses. When you're living on 5 senses, it means you're not evolving. People have everything they need. They have the food, the house, the freedom, the security, all that stuff taken care of by robots and automation. If you're new and you don't understand what we're talking about here, we can take care of everybody. We just choose apathetically not to because we're on the side of the table with the cookies and the milk and we want to fight over what we want instead of taking care of the rest of the people and what they need. When you have a world with 7 billion people and use automation, not for the trillionaires and the billionaires, but so everybody have what they need, everybody works on that 6th sense. Like, what do you do in stillness and peace, and what is meditation about? When you have enough money in the bank, food in your belly, and water, and your safety and freedom, you can go sit down by the stream. You can go sit down by the water and meditate, do yoga, things like that. When you have your bare needs, you can be at peace. And when you're at peace and you're not using your survival senses, those 5 senses, you're evolving that 6th sense. You're thinking about what is greater than us. All right, I'm going to drop that on you and let me keep going. We need to share with the world. That's the bottom line. That's how you get world peace, is you share. As long as you're not sharing, world peace is just going to be completely unattainable and you'll have no idea how to get there. World peace is the default because peace is the default condition for the human being when they have enough. And we have enough for everybody. Study the daycares. Check this out and I'm not an interesting thing in the news. Side effect news. Let me see. Good morning. All right. So, yeah, definitely watch The Family. And my point, Justin, on The Family was that it's the model you need to focus on, not the identities, not the Christian, it's the model of taking a group of people and give them that apathetic. Don't worry about what the brothers are doing. Don't worry what the sisters are doing. If your brother is a pedophile, it's okay because he's chosen. He's one of the brothers. Rally under this name, Jesus. That name could be anything. That name could be Democrat. Vote blue no matter who. Vote Republican. Vote America. Like, be black. It could be any of that. Proud to be Irish. You just give them a flag. You give them a pledge and allegiance, and you excuse your brother no matter what the brother does. And that's what the family was about. That's the message I got from it. I didn't finish it, and I will finish it. But that was a deep message, right? The issue is people being apathetic to their family members, which is part of the key, is people realizing there's 7 billion family members all across this planet. Somehow each human would have to wake up to other things. And I agree, Susan. And this is the point, like when people have what they need, they can wake up. Right? They can't wake up while they're hungry. And that's one thing that Christ did. He fed people, gave them water, healed them, whatever, so they can stop focusing on the 5 senses and focus on that 6th sense. Call it the third eye, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. But focus on something greater. When people in conflict in the daycare over food, they're not going to tune into the 6th sense because they shouldn't. They're still in survival mode. We got to pull them out of survival mode. And this is what I'm saying. When we pull people out of survival mode, the world fixes itself. But we got to pull them out of survival mode. And that involves sharing. And that's what the governments of the world will never do because they're owned by billionaires and trillionaires, and people keep voting for this crap instead of saying, no, I'm not voting. Why would I vote for a system that's based in not sharing? I'm gonna vote for a system that's based in sharing. So you fix people, you share with people, people fix themselves, and the world goes into this sentient direction. I have no idea how many people on this planet. I don't go to the numbers that whoever says that are on the planet. And this is true, Susan. I say 7 billion because they say 7 billion, but we don't really know. There could be 400 million. Like, we don't know anything, right? Everybody keeps voting for this nonsense. And, you know, why would you vote for somebody that has secrets from you? Why would you vote for a system that claims the ownership over information and what's true by having classified and top secret information, not having open source? If you have a government, it has to completely be open source, or it's not a government by default. If they have secrets, they're going to turn against you. So we have no idea how many people on the planet. I say 7 billion because that seems to be what's common, but it can be a asterisk. It can be a wild card for whatever that number actually is. There's only one spiritual rule, and that is love and light. And that's it, Christina. When people can focus on the light and they receive love and got love, then they will give light and they will give love. You know, and that's why in the West, I ain't leaving, Christine. It's like, why'd you leave the country? You don't like it here, you should go. I hate it here. I do. I hate oppression, and I hate murder, and I hate people, you know, cheering governments that kill children. You know, I don't like none of that. I love them, but I don't like none of that. But I'm born into a privileged American position, and I'm gonna make sure I use my voting power to not vote. I'm gonna make sure I use my birth position to help. And this is the whole thing. Take your privilege, whatever it is, and ignore people who yell and scream at all this privilege stuff. Just smack them. No, don't smack them. Don't smack them. Tell them to grow the hell up. Everybody has privilege somewhere. Use your privilege to help people there, period. End of story. And then when you're done helping people there, help people across the world. All right, that's it. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Buddha. Let me see. I'm shocked that the National Prayer Breakfast is the Super Bowl for politicians. Separation of church and state is an illusion. That's so messed up. Yes, Fadia, that is messed up, but it is illusion. But don't focus on the prayer breakfast. Like, that's just a rally call for psychopaths. Don't focus on that, right? Ignore the identity, because it has nothing to do with the prayer or the breakfast. Like, they don't even eat bacon and eggs. They eat people. They eat nations. That's what they're told to do. They eat Hondurases, right? Like, that's what they eat. They just show up there because it's a rally call. Like, somebody's always controlling others at that level, right? Somebody's controlling them, they're controlling us. And everything is this social experiment, social engineering, but it's just a rally call to get them to go do that. If it weren't the National Prayer Breakfast, it would be that skull and bones thing. It would be something else, because everyone is trying to rule the world, and we need a world that's not ruled. Everyone's trying to rule the daycare. Everybody wants to own all the toys so they can divvy them out. And that's why I'm not interested in socialism nor capitalism, because they don't fit with robotism, and they're completely outdated concepts. You know, but they have that rally thing, and it is messed up, Fadia, but as messed up it is, it's how it should be. Right now. It's how it should be. It equates the evolution level that we're at. We're at level -72. It equates that level. People still vote for it. They do it, so it's okay. We needed separation of church. We don't need separation of church and state. We need a separation of state and everything. And we need a separation of state and us. We shouldn't have states. We shouldn't have things that control us. We should be freeing the human race. That should be the focus of everybody on this planet. How do I get free, and how to free everybody around me? That's it. So basically, you had your kids rubbing lemons on their armpits. No, Justin, I did not. I tried, Justin. They were a little too old when I realized what lemons and antibacterial actually was. When I realized when you actually use these things, your natural antibacterial systems take over, right? Because bacteria, and you've got bacteria that fights that bacteria. And if they're fighting the bacteria, they're breeding, right? They're ready to go. You got an army under your armpit ready to go fight. But when you put toxins under your armpit that give you cancer later, then those bacteria, they're not existing under there, right? So when you use natural deodorant, that it means you're not poisoning your system, so you have more of the bacteria that's going to thrive on that. Like ecosystem, everything is balanced, but my kids I ain't going for that. They're like, the first I got with them is natural deodorant. I get them some Toms, and there's another one, but that's the furthest I go. It had nothing to do with this, but if you ask them what this is in the class, they be like, yeah, I got daddy deodorant. But you want to be natural. I mean, think about it from an evolution perspective, right, Justin? If human beings were as funky as they are today when they go out and work out in the garden, the yard, whatever, do you think they would have survived? Dude, we got wolves and bears and short-faced bears and gorillas hunting us for food, and we walk around smelling like some of these people. Some of these people at an amusement park trying to cover it up with cologne and perfume and stuff. Hell no, they'd have ate us. They'd have smelled us 8 miles away. They'd have ate us. We never would have survived. We'd have died. We'd have been deep in the cave. They'd have smelled us, came in the cave and eat us. We have natural anti-BOs. But corporations make a lot of money taking that from you, and they create synthetic compounds, and they make a lot of money on that. Indeed, inner peace before outer peace. That's right. If we can get that inner peace, Christine, we can get it on. A little bit of baking soda is going for deodorant too. That's right, Harley. There are a lot of natural things that you can use, but people don't use them because of TV. TV, the same fantasy thing, news, entertainment, advertisement, right? Controlling you, telling you what's normal. Enslavement, indoctrination by a media owned by massive corporations that make billions of dollars by changing your behavior. You need to go buy your lemons from your local people, and like Harley said, go to your local farmer and get your baking soda. It come off a baking soda tree. Something natural. Try to deal with 20-something women, not enough toys to slow that stuff down. 20-something women. Let me see. All right, Mel, so let's think about that. So I don't know, are you talking about dating or something? So if there were enough, because a lot of things. So why do 20-something women debate, argue, conflict? I might get in trouble. I'm not even sure. Maybe I should skip one. I don't know if I should try. I know I should answer that from my perspective. All right, if you took all 20-somethings, because everybody's beautiful. Right? Everybody's beautiful. And from my patriarchal view, and I don't know, so I'm just throwing a theory out there. This is what I see. I see little girls growing up. They all look different, and they all are beautiful in their own way. But they're growing up in a patriarchal world, and that patriarchal world through television, advertisement, magazines, all the things that their mommy likes. And so they like it. They believe in patriarchal world. Should I stop? I should probably stop. I might get in trouble on this one. And so they think pretty is what the television tells them it is. They think pretty is what En Vogue says. They think En Vogue is right when you're not supposed to have thighs, butts, and all them other things, right? And so they get this vision of what I'm supposed to look like. It gives them a sense of lack of confidence in themselves. They're taught that they gotta have makeup, and they gotta have boob jobs and lip jobs and butt jobs and all of these jobs to be a woman, right? They're not taught that they're beautiful from the start with nothing. They're taught that they gotta look that way, and the other way they break them is you only got but so many men that are attractive to them, right? Like, because men, the same thing, little boys, what you gotta look like, you gotta have this, look this, gotta be tall, gotta be strong, gotta have a deep voice, all of that. And young kids, little boys who got the squeaky voice, they're in high school, you know, they can't get a girlfriend. If you had girls and boys born in a nation where we taught beauty is being born, what you are is beautiful, and you didn't have television telling them what beautiful is, then you wouldn't have 20-something women in conflict, right? Because all the boys would think they're attractive and they're beautiful creatures, and all the women would think that they're attractive and beautiful creatures. Then there's no conflict. They're not fighting to date the football captain, and the boys aren't fighting to date the cheerleaders, right? Because none of that's true. You know, beauty doesn't exist. It's like lying. How does a child know how to lie? Because the parents teach them. We break them. We teach them how to lie. If we don't give them these stupid concepts, then they wouldn't be in stupid conflicts. All right, that's it. Now I'm done with that. Not going any further. Not going any further on that one. All I'm saying is we break children. We need to stop breaking them. Television breaks them. And television is highly controlled. It's how they indoctrinate us. So many should shut the hell up. Yes, they should, Susan, but the people saying the truth will never get big, so that's who they put on TV. That's who always gets famous. Anyone who breaks down a conflict, they murder and shove in a hole, or they just never really get a voice. What it really is, Gerard, is I have to mind control everyone so that they are all my slaves. Well, right. That's because that's the current model of the world, Susan, right? Like right now, it's, if I can control you and make you into my slave, it gives me more power. Everything is human labor, and that's why they made money for human labor. And everything in the world, all the societies are based on money, monetary system. And so they're basically slavery systems, right? So everyone at their own levels are trying to control each other. You got Democrats trying, I slipped on that one, trying to control the Republicans, the Republicans trying to control the Democrats, America trying to control Russia, you know, the Rothschilds trying to control the Rockefellers trying to control the Rothfellas, and whoever's above them, the Mellons or Carnegies or DuPonts or whatever, and they're trying to control, everybody's trying to make some slaves. And no one wants a slave when everybody has everything that they need. Uh-oh, what's that, a pop-up? Italian PM, uncle declares something. And this is the problem, is that Italy literally doesn't exist. There literally is no place that's Italy. You know, it's a land that had multiple tribes. And one day someone showed up and said, "You're Italy." And the people at that time, like, we ain't no Italy. What the hell wrong with you? Like I was talking to somebody the other day. It's like, you know, Africa. Like, we call it Africa. That ain't Africa. Why do we call Ireland? That ain't Ireland. This is why it's so difficult watching the news, because everything is in that mind screw of grouping people into a farm, a fence to be in conflict with other people. That's the only reason why they group people up in nations. But the people at that day was like, we are not Ireland. I have no idea what you're talking about. The people next town over, I hate them. I don't have nothing to do with them. There were multiple tribes, but some colonizers showed up, and we showed those colonizers this great love and affection by keeping the names of nations, which really don't exist anymore. All you have are big corporations that own interest in lands, and you get the dumb monkeys fighting over nations like they exist. And that's why the news talks about nations. There's no place called Spain. Spain doesn't exist, right? It's like the Philippines. Why do we call people Filipino? Why do we call them Filipino? There's a dude who showed up, his name was Philip. That's why. That's the only reason why. And it's insanity. America literally doesn't exist. None of these places exist. Africa was Africa. I forgot his name. It's not, it was the 20,000, 30,000 tribes of different groups of people live there. It's just, it's just land. That's all it is. But you get indoctrinated people grouped up for conflict, and after a generation, they forget what came before them, and they start cheering this colonizer thing. Right? That's how you have conflict, is you convince people by their birth that's what they are, and that's not what any of them are. You aren't white, you aren't black, you aren't any of these dumb things that they come up with. You're a human being and nobody knows what you are. Kids need to be born neutral and show us who they are. If you love your children, that's how you, if you ask me, if you really love your kids, you won't put them in slavery the same way King Philip and King Africa and Kana and whatever his name is, King Ilarana, making up names like how people find species. Not like scientists now, they find a species. If your name is Jasmine, you find a piece of rock or something, turn it over, it's a little bug. This is a jasminite. And future generations of that slug, we're jasminites. Future generations of that ochre, that's what we are. How dumb that is. Like, we keep this whole colonization and colonizing. That's why I always go back to colonizers. It's that psychopathy that you can go to a land and you own things and you can buy Greenland. You can go somewhere and own people and you give them a name. And all you do is you make them slaves for a generation and they forget about it. That's why I don't play with none of the names. I don't really care nothing about that. All right, let me see. Monkey see, monkey do. Yes, Christ, monkey see, monkey do. Good morning, Lord. Let me see. I know exactly what you're talking. Okay, Father, you know what I'm talking. How come I don't see no angry faces? Y'all don't know. It's about 30 people here between YouTube and Facebook. Hey, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Somebody don't. Where my angry faces at? I feel like I'm wasting my damn time. If I'm preaching to the choir, what's the point? But world peace is that easy. You just share. You share. And there's no conflict. Who did you throw under the bus today? See, I didn't throw anybody under the bus today. I'm just trying to tell people that they're not the slaves they want to be. I probably do that every day. I try to tell them in different ways. That world conflict is just, it's kids fighting over toys. That's it. But the weird thing is we live in a land now. There you go. There's not enough toys on the planet. Yeah, there's enough toys. We literally got robots that make robots. We got enough. Everybody can have a G.I. Joe. Everybody can have G.I. Joe instead of people having G.I. Joes. Y'all get what I'm saying on that? G.I. Joe versus having G.I. Joes. When all kids are born with G.I. Joe, the whole set, and they're replicating everything that they need, and robots and making it all, there's no conflict. But if you can give Africa G.I. Joes, you can keep them in conflict, right? And that's what the rich kid always had. He had G.I. Joe, had the whole damn set. And we give every kid the whole damn, poor little girls, they have Barbies. And the rich girl, she had Barbie. She had all of them. She had like 3 of the pink Corvettes, and she had all the doll houses, all the outfits. Barbie sunshine, Barbie at the beach, Barbie at the bar mitzvah, Barbie at they had Africa Barbie, they had the Afro Barbie, they had all the Barbies, and she didn't respect it, right? Because they know how the rich kid did. They didn't respect the thing. They were the first kid to learn how to take a BB gun and shoot all their toys, right? They were the first little girl to learn how to take the head off the Barbie and put it on their finger and play around. They didn't respect. They didn't care for it. The same way your billionaires don't respect this world. The same way your president is fighting to make America great again, want to buy a whole nation of people with slaves in it. They don't respect the toys. They don't understand. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Because Trump, again, he's a Democrat-Republican thing. It's the system. And both parties are supporting of the colonization system. It's happening behind all the BS and suffering. Yes, it is, Randy. And that's how they keep everyone focused on the side effects. They keep everybody focused on all these things. And by the way, don't give your little girls Barbies and your boys G.I. Joes. Don't do that. Don't break them. Because you don't know what people are. And that's another way we break kids is we tell them, you're a girl. You like pink and you like Barbie dolls. And you give them dolls. Don't break them. You don't know what they are. I think this is what what a child's room should look like. They're just born and let them go play what they want to play with. Because that's another group of conflict is male and female. Leave that mess alone. Let the kids do what they want to do. But right, Randy, it's all BS, and it's all BS to keep people focused on it, and it works really well. And you can't blame them. The news, it works like a charm. I ain't gonna get the news eggs, we ain't got time. This took way too much time. Trump is a sociopath. As such, he has no equals in his mind. Everyone is simply a means to an end, a function. He's far from one and only. And that's it, Beaufont. That's it. I'm done. Turn him, boop, press the button. That's it. You can pretend that that's not true, but we all know it's true. We all know the rich kid. We know what they were raised to be. And the model caters to the wealthy more than it caters to us. That's just it. He's a sociopath, but so are all the Democrats. They just had a different upbringing, but they all still feel this ideology that they can control large swaths of people. I mean, they're not saying let's buy Greenland, but damn it, they sure will make Greenland do what they need them to do. They'll make Honduras do it what needed. And that is one news I do got to show. This is the news I do got to show. I'm off on that. There's one I do have to show. We do have to talk about a little more colonization, what we did around the world. One thing I was thinking about this morning, you end the war on drugs and America collapsed. In the war on drugs, and America will collapse. Why? Why? Because we seem to like to put little kids in cages because they're dealing drugs on the streets. But if you end the war on drugs, America collapsed. Why? Because the drug war is used for geopolitics. Like, that's one of the main reasons you can lie to the monkeys and all their groups and go invade other nations and do all this colonization of Latin America, destroying governments. But if you're in the war on drugs, it's one of their geopolitical tools. You keep people in fear. It's called terrorism as a model. When you get people scared and in fear, then they'll go along with anything you want. So they were talking about BDS and Israel and stuff. All right, let me show you this. I'll talk through it, but I want to show you one little bit that I think is applicable. Let me see. Oh yeah, I was looking into the Taiwan thing this morning. Get what that is. Again, one group claims they own another group. China doesn't exist, neither does Hong Kong. BDS movement, yeah, on that, once again, you know, you got politicians on this side fighting on that side. They're both ignorant side, stupid, doesn't exist. You know, my take on the whole West Bank, Gaza, Palestine, Israel thing is people who caused all of these problems, they're all dead, okay? They're all gone. It's like fighting for America by voting, right? The Federal Reserve runs America. Central bankers run it. You have no influence at all in what happens in this nation. Trillionaires make those decisions, not your politicians. You're literally fighting ghosts. You would need the Ghostbusters to get anywhere. All right? The people who set up the conflict between Israel and Palestine, they're all dead. That was Britain. Long time ago, they made 3 promises, all BS. Bottom line is people were born there and put in conflict with other people. The same way you were born in your dumb community and dumb people gave you conflict to be in conflict with other dumb people, okay? People are born on a planet, they have a right to ecosystem. That's it. I know we can get into the Torah, we can talk about what Jew versus Zionism is, but you gotta like know these arguments, because in these arguments they'll say, well, it's anti-Semitic to not believe in Israel. Shut the hell up. It's anti-violence to believe in any nation. I mean, it's pro-violence, believing in nations, period. You know, but people are born there and they gotta have food, water, ice cream, toys, and all of that stuff. You know, so my model is there is no conflict. I believe in the Zeitgeist Movement, the Venus Project. When you take care of people, there's no, like, I don't think that there should be a one state. I don't believe in any states. And I don't believe in 2 states. I believe in 7 billion states if that's how many people there are on the planet. It's called freedom. It's called liberty, okay? It's called leave people alone and let human beings have the freedom of a cockroach. Right? But this whole idea of fighting, should Israel be a state? Should Israel not be a state? It doesn't really matter. You have kids born in Israel, in West Bank, Gaza, and Palestine. They need food, they need land, they need freedom, and we got plenty of that all over this damn planet. We living on an abundant planet. But the only reason we don't live in an abundance and all the kids got toys because we believe these stupid conflicts. And both sides are always controlled, and both sides are dictated to cause conflict. So yeah, I'm not in that conflict at all. I mean, I get that the Zionists are in defiance to the Torah. Yes, they are. But the kids born there, they didn't have a choice in that, right? They even raise them in hate, like right within their books in school. They have to show all Arabs as like cartoons. They can't even show them as people, right? They're given that conflict and they're indoctrinated for the dumb things they're doing the same way you are. To go judge them. I'm not about judging anybody. I'm about we can take care of everybody and give everybody toys. We got the robots and the automation and the minerals we stole from all over the world through all the conflict and destroying governments. We as the current generation are going to decide to share with the people whose ancestors we robbed or we're not. We can end all the conflicts, but we got to stop jumping on sides. That's my perspective. You can fight with that if you want. So all of this BDS and all of that, anti-BDS, and to me it's all BS. It's all BS. None of the states over there should exist. None of them. There's no human beings that should be slaves. And when you actually get there and you have the ability to get out of your survival mode, 5 sensing, and tap into a 6th sense and some sort of spirituality and empathy, you understand what I'm saying? You know, but until then, it's hate and hate and hate, fighting hate and fighting hate, more hate, mate, and it's all based in indoctrination. This is what I want to show you. Not going to spend too much time on that. That's what I'm saying. I don't really care about it. I don't care. I know that the Zionists are in defiance to the Torah. It's like the prayer breakfast. They don't believe these religions. They don't believe them. Why do you? Do you think the psychopaths that are doing this stuff, shooting children with high power and so forth, do you think they give 2 damns about the Torah, the Bible, or any other scripture? No, they just know you're going to run when they say the word anti-Semitic. Don't run. Say, why would I worry about the people who are at the top of whatever you call that symmetry? They don't even read the Torah. They don't like it. The rabbis done told you that. They're in defiance to God. But you got to know how to answer the question when people present it. and not run from it. All right, I'm gonna show you this is what I want to show you.
Hundreds of thousands of immigrants are continuing to pour into America from three countries in particular. And those countries are El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. Now, let me ask you a question. Where do you think those people who live in those countries would prefer to live? Their country or our country? The answer is simple. Their country. They'd prefer to be there if they could. Now, why do you think that they can't live in their own country? Because their countries are consistently among the top 10, look it up, most dangerous in the world. This ain't brain surgery, folks. Honduras and El Salvador.
Because of the Democrats and Republicans, because Americans are still voting, because the West still exists, because they're colonizing and destroying their nation so they can't stay at home, because they're toppling the governments, because they like cocaine, because all the Americans want natural medicine, because the pharmaceutical industry took all the natural medicine, so they want to bring it, import into the country, so the people in those countries are actually controlled by drug cartels, murderers, killers, and rapists. That's why people still voting.
Consistently vying for #1 and #2 spot in the world when it comes to homicides per 100,000 residents. Guatemala, not too far behind. The only country that competes with them consistently in the last decade is Iraq. Now, what do you think?
What do they all have in common? That's the only one that competes with them is Iraq. So everywhere people dying, killing, raping, and destroying everything, everywhere America's helping. Boy, look at that section of their resume. Boy, we'll go down to colonization and the peace section of the Pentagon's resume. Look at the peace section of the Democrats and Republicans' resume, like the top 5 destroyed nations on the planet, where femicide is a word when no woman has any right, no child grows up with food. Still accepting that, you still voting for the system. That's why it boggles my mind. All right, I'm gonna let the whole thing play out.
These three countries, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, all have
That's what they have in common.
If you guess that the U.S. intervened in its elections with a CIA-backed coup or military incursion, ding, ding, you would be right. The most recent example, the CIA-led coup of Honduras in 2009 that ousted the democratically elected president there and has since turned Honduras into a disaster for its people, which is why they're now coming here, because of what we did there. Here now, part 3 of my exclusive interview with the president who was elected, was bolstering his own economy, but was then removed. Here's Manuel Zelaya. Usted ha escuchado los comentarios del presidente Trump.
Have you heard President Trump's comments about the immigrants that are leaving Honduras and arriving in the United States? He said some pretty nasty things about them.
Trump no es nada sorprendente lo que él dijo en su campaña.
Trump isn't anything surprising. He's doing what he promised to do in his campaign. The ones that voted for him are the ones that need to respond to him, and vice versa. He's a white supremacist, a supremacist, someone who imposes his supremacy by way of his...
Okay, I got pause. Test. Is Trump a white supremacist? I tell you this, listen, I'm not a black supremacist, but I live in the world. People call me black because everybody in America is racist, because unfortunately everything is based in race. The time the baby's born, you got to check a box what race it is. So hell yeah, I'm black and I'm supreme to a lot of people. Why? Sometimes I got more money than you. Sometimes I'm stronger than you. Sometimes my car is faster than you. I don't think that really ever happened. I drive a whole truck. It ain't that fast at all. But I'm supreme. And besides that, I'm supreme to everybody in the world. Why? Because I'm an American. So I'm a black supremacist, damn it. I can take my passport, do anything I want to do. Name one nation I can't go in, all right? The only difference is they can't. So I am a black supremacist. But don't let these things trigger you. Like, ignore, because he believes, in all this nonsense. You got to stop believing. Exit it. Grow out of it. Grow up. Understand all of these things are for conflict. The only thing about my American passport, I can travel everywhere. You can't. So I got travel supremacy. I got black travel American supremacy. I can get anywhere I want to. I just can't get home for most of them. I go to those top 5 nations, Iraq, Honduras, Venezuela. I go to any nations that we've been blowing up for a long time, Guatemala. They ain't gonna let me come home, and they shouldn't let me come home. Why? Because I'm a black supremacist. So don't let that trigger you. Focus on the message, not the messenger. The messenger usually is indoctrinated too. Focus on the message. The message is nobody should be supreme.
opinions, his rules, and his politics. He's against migration, even though his parents or grandparents were migrants. But he's against migration. He wants to build a wall in between Latin America and the United States. So he wants to return to the Iron Curtain. I think that he should rectify and understand that the United States needs to learn to respect the coexistence of nations in order to continue to live peacefully in the Americas.
In order to live peacefully in the Americas, like living peacefully in a daycare or peacefully with babysitters. That was the whole point. You want world peace, just go ask anybody that's 15 and a babysitter, or go ask anybody that runs a daycare who does not have a degree, and they can be called an unprofessional, but they know what they're doing. They do world peace every single day. I want to address something real quick that Trish said was off the hook. Trump is not a white supremacist, he's an economic supremacist. Thank you. Thank you. Right? They come up with all these other names and labels at the core of it. That's all he is. Why? Because he's Ricky Schroeder. He was raised as an economic supremacist. Money wasn't an option. They had a damn train in the house. He would get on the train. Y'all seen the show? Right? Like you ain't seen the show. He got on the damn train. You know, it was like growing up watching that dude ride a train, Ricky Schroeder, bastard. Where is he at now? Man, no damn train. I made a train out of a cardboard box and drew the wheels on the side of it before my mommy and daddy bought me a train. Cut it out. He's an economic supremacist because he was raised to be that. Exactly. But see, they call him other things, Trish, right? To get the monkeys upset. He's racist. He's this, he's that. You know, but from a perspective of perception, at the core, what he's doing, he's an economic supremacist, right? Like the Democrats. He's a globalist. He's a colonizer, new world. He believes in all those things because he's doing all those things. And he has to. Well, actually, we don't know what he believes. I take that back. I'd strike that from the record. We have no idea what he believes, right? Because America's not actually, the government's not running America, right? Banks make those decisions. Americans don't make the big decisions. There's nobody in America that runs America. The only collusion you need to focus on is the Federal Reserve and your federal government. That's the only collusion you need to focus on. So, but at the core, that's what he's doing. But, you know, he's a hair supremacist because he got a lot of hair. He got 2 feet. The people on the planet only got 1 foot. He's 2 foot supremacist. They call it white skin, but it's actually really pink. It's more pink than white and anything else. So he's really kind of a pink supremacist. But I get what you're saying, and that's the whole point. People need to focus on the root truth, the action. What are they doing? He's a colonizer supremacist, just like Barack Obama was, just like all the rest of them are. Like Bernie Sanders and the rest, they're all just colonizers, right? Because the job is colonization. It's the office, not the person. All right.
¿Usted duda que si no lo sacan?
Do you think that if you weren't removed from the presidency and if things hadn't worked out in this way,
Honduras,
that this many immigrants would be fleeing the country?
Hubiera ocurrido?
No fuera en las mismas proporciones, porque la migración es un
It
delito.
wouldn't be in the same proportions because migration is a human right. Migration doesn't happen on a whim. It's the people's rights. Where were you born?
Is migration a human right, people? Is it the right of a woman to walk away from a man trying to rape her? Is migration a human right? Is it your right to walk away from a gang chasing you? See, it's funny to me because migration is a human right when it's you. Is it your child's right to get on a train and get out of the inner city because a gang chasing her like on the Warriors? Oh, that's her right then. But it's not the right of a people to escape a nation that your nation is blowing up and destroying all the time when you got gangs raping groups, pounds of women. Migration is a human right. You have a right to get away from, if you're warm, you got a right to get away from something that's hot. If you're warm, you got a right to get away from something that's too cold. Hell yeah, migration is a human right. See, the thing is they drive people. But this is no different than the farming they do on television with indoctrination. They blow up there to get people to move here and they make money on people moving around. This is how you become a trillionaire, right? You make money day trading nations, blowing up nations with the Pentagon, which at the end of the day is just a bayonet. That's all it is. It's a bayonet. And I know I grew up in a Pentagon family. It's a bayonet for billionaires. That's all it is. It's the tip of the spear. You know, they don't do anything for America. They have nothing to do with America. They're just in America. That's just where they keep the tanks, bombs, guns, and other things to murder people. They're owned, right? And they will go where they're told to go because people still believe TV. It's not the Pentagon's fault. People still believe the TV. As long as they believe the TV, they believe nations exist, they'll be used to destroy nations so billionaires can make money on humans moving around the planet, selling water, ice cream, food, toys, whatever they need.
You were born in a country, in a territory, in a family. You didn't even choose your name. Your parents chose it for you. So who are you? You don't know who you are. You don't know why you were born there, why you were born in this era, why you were born in this territory. So,
who is this? This dude is deep. I'm feeling this guy. I mean, he ain't saying everything, but he's getting a who are you. I like, what's in your wallet, right? What's in your brain? Do you even know who you are? But he's nailing it. I mean, these things are birth conflict. Why do poor people seem to get, well, I don't think he's poor, but he was born in a poor nation. Why do they seem to get things more than people like us born privileged on the side of the table that got the cookies and the milk in the daycare? They seem to get it. You don't even know who you are. All of these things are birth conflicts. They're all stork conflicts, and they're all stupid. All right? Like, this is the message that people need to be talking about. Appreciate y'all sharing. I see everybody that's sharing. This is what people need to talk about. All these conflicts, they're not about nations and freedoms and democracy and all of that crap. It's always just about a stork fight. Wherever the stork dropped you, whatever body you were born in, you're put into a video game. And the question is, are you going to play that game with that avatar? Or are you going to play the game like you're something that can sense beyond the five senses? That's the real question.
Human beings, using their conscience, have a right to go where they want. Logically, you need to go through a process. Not that you should go anywhere illegally. Go through the process. But migration is a human right, and it's not a crime to migrate. So there's always been migration. But when migration is from the south to the north, then it's a crime. When it's investors from North America or Europe, then it's development. It's progress.
All right. So he hit something which is true. And migration is not just a human right. Somebody said, it was Jasmine, it's an animal right. Migration isn't a human right. It's an animal right. Every creature on this planet has the right to migrate. Birds, bees, cockroaches, food, worms, all of that stuff has the right to migrate. Leave bad land, go to good. Part of the reason why they don't want people here, this is why I tell people migration works. Part of the reason why they don't want people here because then people talk. Right? People from the nations they're destroying, they do this jabber, jabber, jabber. They feel like right there. They do this, and they decide like, no, because my friends who came from other nations, most of them don't play Democrat, Republican. They don't play because they understand they came from the nation and the things that they have seen and the things that came out of their mouth into my ears. They know the issue is America. The issue isn't one side or the other, but the two sides play these little games. But to me, immigration's working. Why? Because just enough people are getting the country to let me know that your whole system needs to come down. All of it. That's why I say end the war on drugs. Why? Because little kids in the street are doing the things that your government's doing. The American economy is 100% based in the war on drugs. Why? Because they're the drug dealers. They use it. They get people addicted. They cause problems. They cause terrorism. They make a lot of money from it. The CIA was doing from Mena, Arkansas, got caught in LA. The CIA and the whistleblowers said it. Conflict minerals. All this whole geopolitical thing is about causing destabilizing a region where human beings need to have safety and freedom and not be raped. And what does America do? The saber, right? The bayonet, the Pentagon, with the CIA causes a problem and they go in to fix the problem. How you cause a problem? Well, I don't know. You give some drug lords some tanks, special forces. You give certain cartels priority to sell drugs. You keep a war on drugs so all the drugs keep coming in. So it destroys the government. Why? Because what do criminals do? They take over governments. They buy the police. They create these environments where human rights don't exist. And then they go help. So in the war on drugs, and that's why America will collapse, because then there won't be any reason for them to invade nations. People who live in those own lands, they can make their own governments or not, or make their own freedom. And then there's no migration. There's no reason to go destroy nations that you destroyed.
Those are the dichotomies of the world that we don't accept.
Pero la gente saliendo
But the people leaving Honduras seem to be fleeing. It's not a normal migration process. These people seem to be running away, escaping. They're getting out of there as soon as they can. And that's what I'd like to understand.
No es normal. No es normal porque...
No, it's not normal. It's not normal because, look, it's not normal because it's a dictatorship supported by the United States, supported by bayonets, which has buried the country in debt, that has impoverished the people, and which today has the people fleeing the country in terror. Migration has increased under this dictatorship. Migration will always exist, and it always has existed. It existed in my government, but not to these alarming numbers that you have today with these enormous caravans. If you were to open the borders up, people would be fleeing this hell in terror. Understand?
Exactly. Just how, let me show you right here. Daycare. Back to the daycare example. So if you went there, snuck in there at nighttime, you took all the toys from this side of the room and moved them to this side of the room, do you think the kids that had to play on this side of the room will be happy? You think they're gonna stay over there? No. In that example, if you were America and you robbed all these other countries, if you were the West and Europe and Germany, you stole all of their resources and took them to your nations, do you think the people would stay there? No, they're migrating. Why? Because that's what you do. Human behavior is what you're supposed to do. Ain't nothing over here, so I need to go over there. If I stay over here, I die. I need to go over there. And that's what they do. But this is the game that billionaires play against people. All right, I'm gonna look at comments. I think that was over anyway. Wasn't that over? Was he done?
Manuel Zelaya, the former ousted president of Honduras, he doesn't talk like most politicians.
Okay, Manuel Zelaya, that name is off the hook. That brother knows what he's talking about. I appreciate him, and he knows because he's the president of Venezuela, and America done toppled that government how many times?
Seems to just say what's on his mind. We thank him for gracing us with that interview, and we certainly learned a lot. So you haven't heard?
Did you learn a lot? Hopefully you learned something. But this is why I have core values. My core values is, as a kid, when I was 14, I gave my life to this thing called Christ. And I proceeded to see in my world that the people who called themselves Christians didn't do anything Christ did. And it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse. And that was, and so, well, hang on. Because people say that, they're like, oh, he's Christian. No, unfortunately, that's a label, and that's been taken. Christ ain't got nothing to do with that. They stole that one. They didn't take that one. But I dedicated myself, my life, to doing those things. Feed people, love people, care for people, solve problems. I think human beings are problem-solving machines. And that's the only reason we're here. We're here to solve problems. We're not here to create problems. And I think that because we lost all sense of ourself, we lost all sense of critical thought, that we're fooled into becoming the problem. Right? Earth had problems. Earth always has problems. Earth needed stewards, and stewards, I think, were sent here. And there are people who believe in that, and there's people who don't. But either way, and I think natural law, when you take care of people and everybody has enough in a daycare and you share, there's no human conflict. So the Earth has a lot of problems, and that's why I am the way that I am. I'm here to solve problems. I'm not here to be a part of the problem. I'm not here to be a part of the Democrats or part of the Republicans. They're the cause because they have a blind following, so they can destroy nations and murder people. They can starve people into conflict instead of sharing. So I made that promise. That promise was not to what you call a Christian God or whatever. That promise, like prayer, was within myself. I made a promise to my family all over this planet to try to do the right things. That's what I try to do. That's all I try to do. Read some comments, I'm gonna get out of here. If you feel that, I feel like I'm in church. I feel like I'm calling to people. If you feel that calling on your heart, come down front and center. No, come down front and center. Stay right where you at. Stay right where you at, and feed people, love people, care for people, and don't agree with violent groups. And unfortunately, our system is the key to violence. It is the only thing that's keeping violence on the planet, by keeping people in survival mode, in conflict with others, because they want more juice and cookies, and we go along with it because they slid us to the side of the table that has more juice and cookies than the other side of the table. It really is that simple. That simple. Go find any child that runs a daycare, that does some babysitting, and they know what world peace is. And if you actually think that your politicians at the age of 50, 60, 70, whatever the hell they are, they don't know how to make world peace, then you are dumb as a bag of bricks. Peace is not the goal. The goal is conflict and violence and power. And that's got to come to an end. We have to move forward. We have to fix the planet. We have to fix the people, and the people fix the planet. Fix the people, they'll spend more time outside of their five senses trying to survive. And that's how we get to where we need to be. Do the next right thing. That's it, Werner. That's it. Get up every morning, put your shoes on, do the next right thing. Not the popular thing. The popular thing is never the right thing. Do the next right thing. The right thing can't be popular in a world where all the media is controlled. We're here to rebuild communities and to reconnect and restore harmony amongst the human beings. And that's it, Trish. That's it. We're not here for retirements. We're not here for bank accounts. We're not here for big house. We're not here so I can get more than you can. You know, I was listening to the other day, Trish. I listened to Saj Guru. He said enough times it's getting beaded in my it's getting beaded in my bald, beady head. He said, I'm a little stubborn sometimes. He finally said it and it finally sunk in. Talking about the word success. What is success? Well, everybody comes here, they want to be a success. You teach your kids success. You need to be a success. You need to go to college, study, get an education, get your A's, be a success. And the majority of time when people talk about success now, all they're talking about is they have more than what somebody else has. How's that success? He said having things that other people have, that's not a success. He said having enjoyment and having things that your family doesn't have, that's not success. It's called sickness. I saw it growing up. I saw it. I lived within view of the country club. And I saw it growing up. And the funny thing is, it wasn't white people. Some of y'all still on that struggle. It was not white people. I grew up watching black people. That's how I know it has nothing to do with race or skin color, none of these dumb labels. And they just relished it. They had all these things that nobody had, and they enjoyed it. That's a sickness. And that sickness creates more sickness. That sickness creates mental illness. And that sickness gets schools shot up with automatic assault rifles. It's a sickness. Success has absolutely nothing to do with what you have that you refuse to share. They literally took the stingy kid from the daycare. Are y'all getting that? They took the stingy kid from the daycare, didn't want to share with nobody, and they made that the model of success and the model of your government. And that's something you think you should keep voting for. That's the struggle that you should be in, to get yours. The kids in the street trying to get theirs, that's because they're born in a world that teaches get yours and ignore everybody else, because their parents do at retirement. We need to learn how to share. That's what I'm saying. We need to learn. That's the one thing that daycares teach. Have enough toys for everybody and teach them how to share. Sheepless deleted Facebook. Okay, you go the way you gotta go, Adrian. You gotta do what you gotta do. Finally had to come over to the YouTube, Facebook Live. Was not working too well for me this morning. Yeah, they do a lot of things to cause conflict and shadow banning and stuff. I post stuff sometimes, I get no likes. I'm like, I post something else, they get 100 shares. I'm like, something weird is going on. Sometimes I don't use grammar, people don't like shit. But I really don't care nothing about the king's grammar. I don't care nothing about the king's labels. I don't care nothing about the king's lands. I don't care nothing about the king's borders. I don't care nothing about the king's jewels. And I damn sure don't care nothing about the king's grammar. Take the model from daycare, because we've already solved world conflict. It is that simple. As long as you allow the mind to be enslaved, the body can never be free. And that's why they invented TV. Augustine with the quote of the day. That's why they invented the TV. Because if you can enslave people by their mind and get them to love slavery and enjoy slavery and fight to be better slaves and fight for more slave jobs and fight for more slave economy and pick the next enslaving Bitcoin currency, human labor-based model, you don't have to worry about their bodies. You don't have to physically go and colonize. And that's why, Augustine, when we say colonization, people don't get it. Because they think colonization is a ship landing on the shores, and it's not that anymore. It's just a bank landing in the digits. That's how it works. It doesn't work with ships landing on shores anymore. They got everybody embracing slavery and loving it. So they don't have to physically enslave anybody. Except for the kids on the street who get it. Except for the white nationalists and the skinheads and the Klan and the MS-13 and the Bloods and Crips who actually understand what this world is actually about. That this world is about violence and about greater numbers. It's a patriarchal model in using force to get what you want. They get it. And they see America and they know what America's doing. And some of them maybe don't get it. But all the gang violence is just a representation of the Democrats and the Republicans. That's all it is. It's a representation of the political parties, right? They use force in numbers to solve problems. And you need to stop going to violent people for solution. You gotta have some core values. You gotta have some ethics. You gotta have a line too far. And that's what's wrong with Democrats and Republicans. They don't have a line that's too far. They keep stepping over and stepping on habitual line breakers. And a line breaker for me that really got me there, y'all bombing kids. You bombing kids, you ain't got nothing I want. You're going to hell, wherever hell is. If it's repeating this life, fine with that, but you're going to hell. I ain't trying to go with you. I'm not supporting you, not voting for you, not going with you. And like I said, it's not that all politicians are bad. There's some that actually get it, but the system will not let them do anything because we don't have the core value of you can't have a vote until you stop killing children. Until you stop killing children, until you stop killing people, you can't have a vote. Sharing is a concept that's so far beyond most people. I don't expect them to understand it because they're over 7. You only get that when you're under 7. After that, we break you and make you stupid. But you got to have a core rally point. And my core rally point is you want to go out and murder some people, you ain't got nothing I want. Nothing. I don't want your health care. I don't want your wall. I don't want your freedom. I don't want your anything. I don't even want your constitution. I don't want your bill. Because I know it's all phony and it's a fake and it's a fraud. I don't want none of your crap. And I'll use all these toys, all your crap, your economic systems, everything that I can at my disposal to stop people dropping bombs on kids' heads because they want health care. All right, on that, going to get a little serious. I get upset when I go down that road too far. I'm going to get going. Y'all have a good day. And just remember, world peace is not out of reach. World peace is easy. They don't want world peace. They want world conflict. And that's why they keep you in conflict with your neighbor, the other race, the other religion, and the other country. Because trillionaires and billionaires run this world. And you're too hateful to get it. All right, sure. Get going. Y'all have a great day, family. Really appreciate y'all. Got to get going. Love y'all to death. Bye-bye.